Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. How's everyone doing today? So, we have some very exciting news. Our book, Becoming an Unstoppable Woman Entrepreneur Part 2, launched this morning, I believe East Coast time. I think it was like 5, which 8 a.m. our time. Anyway, here we are. Well, obviously it's 8 a.m. our time because here we are. So there are 20 incredible, powerful women in this book. And this book is a continuation of the very first book series that was published beginning in 2021 of Becoming an Unstoppable Woman. And so there are 6 books in that series, and this is the continuation because as a woman entrepreneur, the journey never stops. Things change in business, and we have the best of the best in this book just to show you. So I want to first thank everyone for watching. And if you're not watching, start watching. Watch the replay, ask questions to the ladies. We're going to be here till 8:55 today. PST time zone. We're also going to be doing some panel discussions on the book. So I really want you to connect with these incredible women, get the book, write reviews. It is currently available in 13 countries in ebook. And 2 weeks from today, it will be in paperback in 12 countries across the world. So that's pretty exciting stuff. So my name is Hannah Levis. I'm one of the team members at She Rises Studios. My chapter is called Be Your Own Shero. And the Shero part is the $sign, because as an entrepreneur, part of the reason why we are one is because we want to make money and we want to create money for others. So I dabble a little bit into that. And the first person that I'm going to introduce to you today is going to be Sarah Thayer. So welcome, Sarah. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Amazing. So tell us who you are, what you do, and why you wrote in the book.
Yes. Hi, I'm Sarah Thayer. I am a financial advisor. I actually prefer to say I'm a multipreneur or a mompreneur. I do have my financial services business. That's my key. But we have branched off and started some other ones because of having the right money mindset. That's actually the title of my chapter. And it's crazy to think how your mindset affects something like money. But it does. How we think about it, how we feel about it is such a huge, huge thought in how we use it. And a little insider tip, it also affects your business. How you think about money and how you think about your business affects whether you're successful or not. So I think it's just such a huge key and something sometimes that's not talked about with money. So I get excited and I love to talk about it. And
Well,
I'm from Dillsburg, PA, a little small town in Pennsylvania.
Well, thank you for sharing. What is one tip that you could give to women today in the entrepreneurial space?
My one tip would be start to think of money as a tool. Sometimes we think of it as we kind of react to it instead of taking initiative with it. So start thinking of money as a tool because if you're going to build something, you're going to go and you're going to buy tools. Money is just a tool. If you're going to do something with it and you need more of it, you've got to go and get more of it. So just think of it as a tool and not let it determine how you're going to do something.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. So we're going to do a carousel today for those of you who are watching, so we can make sure that we honor all the women who wrote in the book. So with that said, I'm going to go to Sylvia Becker-Hill.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so delighted and excited to be here. My name is Sylvia Becker-Hill, and I'm known as the Flip Coach because I show women how they can flip everything that hurts, frustrates, or sabotages them into new possibilities for the best life and preferred career and business. And my chapter in our wonderful book focuses on the ABC of self-sabotage, which is derived from my own struggle and suffering and that of my clients coming to me. And at the end, I end with a process of flip, how you can turn self-sabotage into self-empowerment and make the most out of that. Because sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time, what hurts us is a seed for something glorious, new, a new possibility.
Sylvia, what is something that you could share based off of your chapter that you could tell women today to help in the entrepreneurial space?
The biggest thing for me, I'm training myself currently, and I just felt it again. I spoke very fast. As an entrepreneur, we all are so passionate and so driven. And so we all need to just take more often deep breath and simply slow down and connect with our body, because our body always knows best. So stop listening to other people's advice. First check in and let your body judge if that what others tell you. Some mentors, gurus, friends have wisdom. Ask your body if that is aligned for you. And to hear and feel that, we have to slow down. So slowing down, that's my process in the moment and my biggest tip for us busy, driven, passionate entrepreneurs.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. So my next amazing powerhouse lady today is going to be Serena Diamond. Good
Awesome.
Morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Thanks so much for this. And I am really enthusiastic about being part of this. As Hannah said, I'm Serena Diamond. I am the CEO and founder of Diamond Solution Group, which is a really unique consultancy in that I help bring leaders' visions to life. So I say to people all the time, I help turn that what if wondering into a way to go celebration. I founded Diamond Solution Group with much the same reasons why I wrote my entrepreneurial story in Becoming an Unstoppable Woman, because I really wanted to help other business leaders find their path to their own definition of success. I had over 30 years of climbing corporate ladders and achieving that success that is defined very traditionally. But then my chapter, which is entitled The Power of And, shares my journey to overcome a lot of corporate and personal trauma on my way to becoming the more unstoppable version of myself. As I've grown with my network of clients and advisors and collaborators, I have met so many women with similar journeys, the same kind of challenges, and really similar aspirations. So I hope that my story helps other women to find that inspiration to really define for them what makes them unstoppable.
Ooh, I love that. Okay. This is a deep question, but I know you're the one to answer it. So I had a conversation with somebody last week about toxic women leaders in corporate spaces. How can we, this group of women, help that specific area? What would you say?
I have, in all of the leaders I've ever met, I've ever supported, I don't call it coaching because coaching is a standing in the back, watching. I will grab somebody by the hand and let's go together. Let me help you. But I will tell you that every toxic leader, truly man or woman, but women, because of a lot of society impacts, the toxicity comes from a place of insecurity. Sometimes it is deep-seated, well into historic, childhood issues. But what's interesting is that as soon as someone recognizes that it is not about how they're showing up at work, but how their inner story is coming out, they can start to heal that. And the toxicity, I've seen it. I've worked with women for a few months and had their leadership style change. And what happens is amazing because women have this unique ability as leaders to affect change amongst other people in the organizations that they are leading, or in some cases where they're just a team member. But really it comes from that ability to address the toxicity source and not necessarily the behaviors, because behaviors are a moment in time.
I love that. Thank you. I knew you could answer it. I knew it. Well, thank you for joining us. You'll see more of Serena here shortly. All right, let's go to the fabulous Marissa Warren.
Good morning. How are you?
Amazing. How are you doing?
I'm good. So lovely to be here today. So, my name is Marissa. I'm a hypnotherapist and transformational consultant. And I have a phenomenal ability to be able to tap deep into people's subconsciouses to help them break free from whatever's holding them back and make change easy to move them from where they are to where they want to be. So, my chapter in the book is Release the Inner Critic: How to Escape Imposter Syndrome and Step into Visibility Success. And I'm sure that everybody can relate to a moment in time where they've wanted to do something, can take action, but then they've thought, oh, what is that person going to say or think about me if I do that, or put myself out there and be visible? Or your soul is calling out for more, like you want to be doing more in your life or in your business, but there's just that fear holding you back, and that inner critic is just taking over and running the show. So this chapter is all about helping you to understand if you may be suffering from imposter syndrome and how you can break free from that to really step into rise and shine and be visibility success.
All right, here's this one for you, Marissa. Why do you think women have such a strong inner critic?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that a lot of it comes from that sense of worthiness and deserving. And, males and females, we're biologically hardwired different. We think differently as well. So our biological drivers as women, we are all about that unity and community. I mean, you look back in the days when, they had the hunters and gatherers, and the women, we were part of the tribe where everyone came together, and, we really nurtured the whole village. So there's that real sense of worthiness and deserving. And I think a lot of people, even men, suffer from this as well. But that real feeling of like, am I worthy and deserving of having the success and life that I want to live? Am I worthy and deserving of achieving and having it all? And I think there's a lot of guilt that women carry as well. We wear a lot of hats. We're business owners, we're mothers, wives, daughters, sisters. And then you add on the challenges of navigating life and work. And then, you always feel like you're not doing enough. You're not spending enough time with your partner. You're not spending enough time with your children. You're not spending enough time with work. Whatever it is, you always feel like you're spread so thin. So I think a lot of it is biological, but I think a lot of it is that sense of that worthiness and deserving. Like, can you really have it all? Yes, you can. And you can have it in a very easy way as well. I think it's just releasing that guilt and that need to have to do it all.
I love it. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to the amazing Heather Stokes. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Hello, ladies. I just want to say how blessed I feel to be part of this journey again. So myself, Nicole, Hannah, Ashley, and some others here were part of the Becoming Unstoppable Woman Series 1. And this is Series 2. And I'm so excited that we are able to bring in more women that can just add value on a totally different level, that come from different backgrounds, different parts of the world, different businesses completely. So myself, like Sarah was saying earlier, I consider myself a multipreneur because I do have my hands in lots of different things. I am a strong believer in multiple streams of income. I also come from a financial services background, but I also have a podcast and a TV show, and I'm an author. And I partner with She Writes Studios on top of running my own business. So it is, sometimes people, look at you and say, gosh, how do you do all these things? I don't know. I'm failing forward. There's a ton of different hats wearing at one time. But I think that is my message today for women, is that sometimes I think as entrepreneurs, we get discouraged when things aren't going our way, right? We have this big vision, we have our vision boards, and it's got to work this way. And then when it doesn't happen that way, we get very discouraged. And so what I have to tell you is that throughout my adult life, I've had businesses with my husband, with other people. I've had my own businesses. And sometimes things don't go the way you planned. And that's okay, because there's a lesson in every single one of those, what you may feel are failures or you may feel are setbacks. There's a lesson there. And so more step back, say, okay, what can I learn from this? And how can I make it better and stronger moving forward? Right. So don't look at it as a failure, but as a lesson that you had to learn to make yourself stronger and moving forward in a better position. So take those and really just learn from them and not get so frustrated or just give up, because that's really not the journey that you wanted, right? And in giving yourself the wins. So that's the other thing is I try at the end of the day, because I'm also a mom of younger kids, and I have a husband that has health needs at times. So my days don't always go the way I planned. And so instead of living in that daily frustration, give yourself 3 daily wins. What are 3 things you did today that were good or change? Even if it was like, I got another load of laundry done, or there's cleaned, there's no dirty dishes in the sink. Like there's sometimes it's small wins that we have to recognize. You know, everybody got fed. Nobody went to the hospital today. Count that on your list, right? Because those are wins too, not just our business. Because as women, we have so many other things going on in our life a lot of times that men simply don't have to deal with. I tell people all the time, you know, if I had as little responsibility in my life as Bill Gates, I could be bigger than Bill Gates too. But well, the Lord gave me the blessing of having children and serving my family on top of wanting to run a business, right? But that just means we're stronger than those people. So take your wins, understand the strength that you have as a woman, and don't allow those what you feel are failures or setbacks to define who you are or the business you're trying to build. Push past those. Those are just lessons that are going to make you stronger as an owner later.
Woohoo! Thank you, Heather. All right, let's go to the amazing Monica. Good morning, sunshine.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Monica Marone, and I'm a health coach. And my passion is to inspire women to become their healthiest self so that they can best serve others. And first of all, I just want to say thank you to Hannah for inviting me to be a part of this project. The fact that you see me as unstoppable has already had an impact on me, on my personal growth, and on my trajectory in my business. So a huge thank you. And my chapter is titled Be More, Make More, and Give More, which is my motto for business and life. And in my chapter, I share my story of losing my corporate job after 19 years with the same company. And what happened that day was it really ignited in my heart this desire to never be in that situation again where my whole income was dependent on a corporate job. And so, like a lot of the other women that have already spoken, I have various endeavors that I'm involved with, and it's kind of ever expanding. But when I started on this entrepreneurial journey, I had high hopes and lots of dreams, but I didn't have the skill sets essential for becoming a successful entrepreneur. My mindset was very much still in the employee zone. And my first big breakthrough came when I started watching other successful people and trying to figure out, well, what do they do? And I realized that the 3 key elements was that they asked a lot of questions. They knew how to ask effective, open-ended questions. They told a lot of stories. They were exceptional storytellers, and they were really good at inviting people. And when I shifted in how I was running my business to incorporate those skills is when my business started to grow. And, you know, when I started out, my business was very much about me, you know, like what I wanted, the income I wanted, the goals I had, the freedom I wanted from corporate America. But over the years, my business has really become more about what I can give, who I am becoming, who can I serve. And my business has rewarded me in so many ways that I never even dreamt of or could have imagined when I started on this journey. And so I just want our readers to, you know wherever they're at in this entrepreneurial journey, that there's wonderful, abundant growth waiting for you if you embrace it. And Again, a huge thank you. You know, they often say you become like the people that you hang out with. And so I feel really privileged to be among this group of entrepreneurs. And I look forward to getting to know all of you better as we're on this journey of promoting and spreading this message to more people. And thanks again. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. And so for those who are watching on the front and those who are listening on the back of this, I'm going to give Monica, I've been waiting for today to give this challenge. So here's my challenge to you because of the type of entrepreneurial space that you're in. You connect your health and your wealth and your entrepreneurial journey together. So I was thinking that maybe for the group of us here in this book, all 20 of us, if you could create some challenges, some health challenges for us to do together on an entrepreneurial journey. And those challenges, should we choose to accept them, and I'm sure we will because we're all team players, maybe this is something that we can show others who pick this book up and read it, how important our health, wealth, life, business, and how all of it connects together. And I think you're the one to do it.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. I've been reading and studying the book Atomic Habits and incorporating some of the principles in that book into my daily habits and into the wellness community groups that I've been running on Facebook. So I want to learn a little bit more about all of you and put a little thought into that. But yeah, you know, the basic things that we need to do to be vibrant and healthy, sometimes they're really simple, like making sure we drink enough water every day. So yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Thanks for the opportunity.
No, thank you. And thank you for sharing. All right, let's go to the amazing Francine Julian. Good morning.
Hello, everybody. I am Francine Julene, the warrior princess of personal change. I'm an author, a speaker, and a coach. I share tools that make change easier, and I help people make their business communications sparkle. In my chapter, I talk about boom, bad opinions of myself. To become an unstoppable woman, you got to get rid of boom. Because I teach strategic storytelling magic, you better believe that you will have fun reading my chapter. Because in my chapter, I tell a story of how someone just like us, an entrepreneur, had bad opinions of herself and her business was tanking because of it. And then she learns how to strategically tell a story and her business skyrockets. If you want to learn a little bit about strategic storytelling, please read my chapter. Every unstoppable woman needs to be able to tell a story.
I love it. Thank you. What is one of your hopes for your readers as they read this book?
My hopes for my readers and all of our readers is to become an unstoppable woman. You have to have the confidence in yourself. And we gain confidence in ourselves by seeing other people do it and saying, I could do it. It doesn't look that hard.
Thank you for sharing. All right, so let's go to Ashley. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm so excited to be here. And again, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to be with these amazing ladies. My name is Ashley Pekalski. I am the mompreneur coach and also a client relations specialist with She Rises Studios. I am also an author working on my solo book too. And what I do is I empower mompreneurs to show up confidently online, to attract their dream clients, and reach that next level success. And I love it because with She Rises Studios, that's what it's all about too, is the empowerment, the visibility, to being seen, to being heard. And that's a little bit about what I do. And my title is called Unstoppable Force. And I just dive in to 3 pillars that I have in my signature focus framework. And it's basically mindset, routines, habits, and the client attraction. And it all flows together. I feel that on my journey, when you're missing that one piece, you're kind of like on that roller coaster ride. And success is 80% mindset. So I really dive into that. And that's what really makes that unstoppable force, is that confidence in yourself, that belief in yourself.
Thank you so much. What would you say has been your most favorite part of being an entrepreneur, also known as mompreneur?
Yeah, I think it's more about learning more about myself, the strengths, and like being able to help other people. Because the things that I learn through and go through, I can take and have that as a guide to help other moms as well, empower them. Because entrepreneurship, many times, like I've like changed many things different times. So I guess it's like all of that. Like it's like that just self-discovery of yourself.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. All right, let's go to Dr. Victoria. Good morning.
Hello. It's afternoon here. I'm over in rural Ireland. It's nice to see everybody, and thank you for creating such a lovely launch opportunity for our book today. So I am a success mindset coach. I support women in a range of environments to unlock their success energy, to release the negative emotions, the old stories, the baggage that holds us back, and to learn both the skill set and the mindset to be successful on their own terms, because what success means is individual to all of us. And like Serena, I spent many years in corporate. I was a deputy chief executive. I ran multi-million-pound businesses. And then during lockdown of 2020, I scampered off to rural Ireland to build a polytunnel and have chickens and grow my own vegetables, and found the business that I now run. And all of that was possible because I was willing to lean into fear. In fact, my whole career, I learned that in order to be successful, you have to learn to work with the emotion of fear, which is something we all carry. It's part of our innate biological wiring. It's there to protect us. So it's super, super powerful as an emotion. And I know through the work that I do and through my own experiences that it keeps many of us stuck. The negative emotion of fear keeps many of us stuck. It gets attached to things. It stops us showing up. It stops us asking the prices that we deserve to be paid. It stops us being visible in places that we feel a bit daunted by. Sometimes it stops us speaking up, speaking our truth. So my chapter is all about how to contend with the emotion of fear. How do you keep moving when you are in the grip of fear, so that it doesn't stop you, so that it doesn't keep you living a small life when you have big ambition? And the antidote often to fear is love. And love is an emotion we don't talk about much in business. I didn't spend many of my boardroom years pronouncing on love, but actually it's love of what we do. It's the passion for the purpose that we have that keeps us moving forward in the face of fear. And really, in the universe, there are those two forces. There is fear and there is love. We are either drawn to something, or we feel resistance and we feel aversive to it. So really, my chapter explores the relationships between fear and love, and how those are relevant within a business context, and how you can begin to align around your passion and your purpose and take on the fear that I know everyone right here knows. To be an entrepreneur, you are taking yourself on every day of the week, and that involves dealing with fear. So that's what my chapter is about, and it's an absolute pleasure to be a part of this project.
Well, thank you for sharing, and we're happy that you made it so far away.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
All right, let's go to Miss Nita. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So I am so blessed to be among all these incredible women, and I'm just excited to be a part of Unstoppable Women.
Can you tell us what your chapter is about?
So my chapter is learning how to come over adversities, and regardless of being in adversity, you can, at age 65, you can still live. We never know what tomorrow might bring, but we just have to have that enormous why to continue and not quit, and just keep going to become that unstoppable woman that we all are made to be.
Wonderful. And what is one hope that you have for the readers who pick this book up?
I hope that they will learn. I am into cannabis, but I hope that they will learn that life is changing, and that all kind of businesses are coming out, that we need to understand that cannabis is not just a bad ornament, but it's also used for health reasons. And the reason why I went into cannabis, because I had like 7 family members to die of cancer, and I didn't want to give them morphine, and I actually watched them and took care of them. So the part that I liked, I was selfish. I wanted them to be more with me. So I didn't give them the morphine. I gave them the cannabis instead. But it's not always bad. It's changing, and it's used for health reasons as well.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yes.
And congratulations. All right, let's go to Nicole Curtis.
Hello, ladies. How are you today? It's Tuesday. I'm so excited to be here in the presence of all you fabulous, fabulous women leaders in this industry, really coming together for us to help serve women entrepreneurs all over the world. So my name is Nicole Curtis. I'm an author, speaker, crazy chicken lady, and co-creator of the Crazy Chicken Lady merch line featured at She Rises Studios. And I am so excited to be here. Like I said, if you can't tell, I am just fired up. My chapter is called Say Yes to Clucking You. And what does that mean? Say yes to being you, because it's so important that in business, whether if it's your mission statement, your why, your services, your products, everything that you do needs to come from within and be all of you. So my chapter is all about helping women, empowering them to be their best selves, and really help through that self-forgiveness, that self-reflection for them to, in order to do that. And it's all about just being your true, authentic self, because you are who you are is enough. Who you are has value. Because the thing I always go back to, especially when I'm in conversations with other ladies too, is there's no one like you on this planet, in this world. We are all uniquely created. We are all uniquely designed. We have our own talents, our own abilities, our own capabilities, and there's power in that. So don't hide from it. Let it come out, shine it bright, and be you and all that you do in your business.
Woohoo! Thank you, Nicole. Last but definitely not least, we have one more who is in the studio who I think we finally got technical difficulties figured out. So welcome, Joanne. How are you? Can you tell us who you are, what you do, and a little bit about your chapter?
Hi, good morning, ladies. Yes, of course. I have been struggling with internet, but I'm resilient here. My chapter is a little bit about how sometimes we don't born necessarily with possibilities, right? But we have to make those possibilities, make it happen. And how mental health has been a key for me to succeed. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So, what do you think in terms of, for you writing this book, what is one of the biggest goals that you have for the message in your chapter?
Definitely, my personal goal was to heal and help others to heal.
Okay. And what is the name of your chapter?
That's a good question. I remember I have a chapter, and also like a promising young woman with no possibilities.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us. And so you have met every single amazing woman who's joined us today here on the live. And so now I'm going to start the carousel, and I'm just going to rotate the women through. We'll do some conversation. We'll end this today at 8:55. But here's things I know. The book is currently in ebook form on Amazon in 13 countries. You can get it today for 99 cents. So you have no reason why you cannot get this book. Not only are you supporting every single author in this group, but you are also giving yourself a tremendous gift. And anyone who's in the entrepreneurial space as a woman, we go through challenges every single day. And I believe that there's 20 different perspectives, strategies, and stories, and there's something in there for you. So we have a huge goal today. We are trying to become bestseller, international bestseller in all 13 countries and several different categories in each country. And so how does that happen? Well, that happens from the people watching this and from our networks going in and supporting us and grabbing that ebook. So that's how it happens. So we are officially watching and waiting to see if we're going to nail these goals today. And I believe that we will, because not only are the 20 women in this book incredible, but so is our community, so is their community. And this is how we become unstoppable women entrepreneurs, through supporting one another, through collaboration, no longer competition, but really linking arms and walking in this together. And I'm truly honored to be a part of this, not only as a co-author, but to be the publisher of this book and really bring it to the forefront for everyone to be a part of. So thank you. So I'm going to start rotating and bringing some of the ladies back in. Sylvia, why don't you tell us one of your favorite parts of writing the book?
The favorite part of the book writing was that I asked some of my clients and my friends to give me feedback while I was writing. And there were moments which were a bit painful, because what I thought was so brilliantly and clearly formulated was not, because people didn't get it in the first version. And so I learned. I'm committed to become the best writer I can be, to get my voice as clearly as possible, to help others. So for me, the writing process was a deeply co-created experience with around 30 people, clients, friends, and followers, who helped me rewrite my chapter literally 3 times. And now the final one, I believe, is brilliant. And it wouldn't be as good as it is now if I wouldn't have been putting myself out there, being vulnerable, and sharing the first draft, which looking back now was pretty bad, because I tried to squeeze a full book into one chapter, and that never works. So now it's one chapter with a core idea, and it's clear and powerful. And thank you for everyone who contributed and helped me to be a better writer.
Thank you for sharing. All right, Serena, what do you think was the hardest part of writing this book?
Wow. Honestly, very similar to Sylvia, in that I really had to dig deep and be vulnerable to my own story. There were parts of it that, I mean, of course you know it, right? It's your own lived experience. And it's different when you put those words on paper and then you reflect on all that brought you to this point. But what was really impactful for me was, as hard as that was, as I was sharing that with, as Sylvia did, with co-collaborators, with people that I entrusted, and actually a few people that I was very vulnerable to share with, to hear the feedback. In some cases, I was thrilled that people that are clients said, I never would have guessed that you had been through such hard, difficult things, but now it makes sense, right? That you become the strength and the unstoppable human that you show up to be, only through, some of those harder lessons. So I think part of the writing was a catharsis for me. And I also think that really getting to the place where it was okay to share some of that and be okay with that's what has made me who I am and how I show up with my clients every day, to be able to help them.
So what do you say to the woman, Serena, who is ready to take that entrepreneurial launch?
I say, honestly, I say it almost every day, to someone who will say to me, wait, I knew you when you were corporate, and I knew you when you were something. And I say to them, one, the water is great. There has never been a better time to be helping, truly of showing up. If you're showing up as that staunch consultant who's going to be the one that's okay, you know what, there's a dime a dozen, and maybe that's hard. But I tell women who are truly interested in bringing their experiences to be standing beside someone else. And most often my clients have been really appreciative of all the things that I've learned through my corporate career that in some cases I took for granted. But now I'm able to share those lessons, those best practices, those ways of doing things, or ideas that they may have, and help to bring that out. But I say to women all the time, the water is great. There's so much work. And I do not believe this is pie. I believe that if I help someone else get a job or get an opportunity to share, it comes back to me one way, shape, or form. I have proven it time and again. So I never hesitate to introduce someone to someone else. I'm a big believer in that network creates strength and for all of us. So jump in, call me, reach out to me on any of the platforms. I'm happy to help you work through your business strategy, your ideas, the things that are keeping you from really launching. And the water's great. It's a great time to be busy.
Thank you. All right, Francine, what has been your favorite part of being an entrepreneur?
Well, my favorite part is being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. I spent 33 years in the military environment. I joined the Navy at 18. After 10 years in the Navy, I joined the Army. Then I worked as a contractor on government aircraft, and I also worked in civil service. Now that I'm retired, my whole life revolves around being creative, and that's what I love about the writing process. I get to have fun doing what I love and hopefully make a beautiful business helping other people while I do it.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. Marissa, what has been your most favorite part of writing this book and just being an entrepreneur?
I feel like for me, this journey, much like what the other ladies were saying, it's such an inward journey when you're, I guess, like bearing your soul in a way. Like part of this is an alignment with the work that I do, but it's also, I find that, life imitates art. So as I was writing the book, it was like a lot of things were coming up for me around imposter syndrome and where I had been holding myself back or letting the voice and narratives of what I thought another person would say take over in my life. And then it made me realize how many opportunities I had limited myself in life. And when you allow yourself to fully step into your inner power and access your own magic, then your infinite possibilities are like endless. So it's being able to really, I guess, like shut out that external noise, tune back into yourself. And you know what? Just keep going. Just take one little action every day that moves you closer to your goals. And then all of a sudden, you know, you've moved from one end to the other end so quickly, and you've moved it through as well. And I think also being an entrepreneur, it's very much the same thing. There's many days where I still procrastinate and I feel unmotivated and I'm in my head about stuff. And I know I should be doing more things than what I'm doing, but it's also been very much a journey about being able to embrace the art of surrender and detaching from the need to control as well. So I now know that I'm more productive when I rest more than I work more. And, you know, this month for me has been way out of balance and I've really been feeling it. So I think just being able to live life and define life and business on your terms and living in authenticity and sovereignty with what is aligned for you, because the way that your success looks could be something like very different to what it looks like for another person, and that's totally okay. So just do you and do life and business the way that you want to do it.
Woo! I love that. Thank you. All right, Sarah, what would you say has been one of your most powerful experiences as a woman entrepreneur?
Oh gosh, I would say actually just doing it, which seems crazy, so crazy to think about, but we all have these dreams and we all have these visions, and we kind of like, well, I could never do that. Oh, who would ever buy that? Who would ever? And we just keep putting them out there like, oh, but this is such biggest thing. Keep dreaming, but start doing. So I would say that's been my biggest success is I actually went and did it. And if I didn't open my first business, I wouldn't have opened our second, or we wouldn't have just opened our third at the beginning of this month. We would still be sitting, not think there's anything wrong with corporate America, but we would still be sitting there complaining and dreaming and not doing. So keep dreaming, but start doing.
I love that. Thank you. Ashley, what would you say has been one of your most favorite parts of your entrepreneurial journey?
I would say me really stepping into me, like letting go of all those things that were holding me back. Again, like my life was like, again, everyone's life goes up and down. We have those roller coasters, but really truly finding myself, stepping into my power, healing those things. And I'm not where I want to be right now fully yet, still too. I still have a lot of work to do, but it's been an amazing journey because I can take these things and again, yes, help teach other people. So it's not like that you're, you know, wasting that time, right? Because I feel that I wasted a lot. I could have started sooner. I could have done things differently, but it's not, again, looking at it with guilt and shame. It's being gentle, but being able to take those things I learned and being able to share it. And even with my daughter, like it's been magnificent. That's it. I can't even say that word, but you know what I mean.
Yes, I do. Thank you so much for sharing. Monica, what do you think has been one of your biggest takeaways or, you know, experiences as a woman entrepreneur?
I'll just piggyback a little bit on some of the things that some of the other ladies said. One of the little nuggets of wisdom that I share in my chapter is that doubt will take you out of action and action will take you out of doubt. And, you know, we all face that moment when we're paralyzed by the fear, where we doubt ourselves or we doubt our abilities, where, you know, we just don't, we want to give up. I think every successful person, it's that point where they want to give up. And if you just take one small action, it's amazing how it'll turn around and you'll start back on that upward spiral.
Thank you. I couldn't agree more, actually. That's very true. Thank you for the authenticity. All right, let's jump to Heather. Heather, what has been the most rewarding part of your journey as a mompreneur, entrepreneur, and everything in between?
Well, I think the biggest reward I've had, and I know Ashley touched on this, is really just seeing my girls see me as an example. and knowing that I'm part of their development in a way that, example, in a positive manner, that you can take on what you want to do, that things are possible. So when I wrote in the first Becoming an Unstoppable Woman series, they saw me writing and they had never even thought, much like myself, about being a writer, but they decided to pick up the pen and create their own books, and they're doing their own book series. But what that told me is that, they're always watching, right? Our children and our families, they are always watching, even if they don't say it right away. And so just by, like Sarah said, even just taking the steps and doing, dreaming, but doing, and showing them that you can dream big, but you can also do big, and taking those actions. So the most rewarding part hasn't really been my business directly, but the impression I'm leaving, the legacy I'm leaving by doing.
I love that. I think there's a song about it too. I keep hearing the dream big or do bigger. And it goes back to, there's another book that we published called Dream Big, Do Bigger. And I keep hearing that. So I wonder if what that's leading to, but thank you for sharing. All right. What's your biggest takeaway at this point, Nicole, in your entrepreneurial journey?
I think for me is nothing is perfect. It's never going to be perfect. There's always going to be hills, valleys, mountains to climb, the wasteland, the yuck, right? That we all kind of get into. But I think the value or the important thing here is, what do you do when you're trying to strive for perfection, or when you're trying to strive for that next goal or that next level in your business, and that frustration and that fear and that overwhelm and that self-sabotaging starts setting in. And I think one of the biggest keys that I have learned through that process is community is everything. Who you surround yourself with has value. Who you spend your time with, who you connect with, who you reach out to for help matters. And so I say that because for all of you that are watching this today, or that are going to catch the replay, these ladies on the screen, and that the ones that have come on the screen that aren't here at the moment, we're here for you. We're here to support you. We're here to uplift you. We're here to empower you. We're not just here to educate you and provide you tips and strategies. Absolutely, because we're all in this together. And I think that's the message that I want to make sure that you can hear and that you can feel from me, is that these ladies have this servant heart and attitude of, it's not like, this is the famous Hannah Olivas quote, it's not the me show, it's the we show. How can we come together as a community, as women leaders in this world from all over the place, to come together to write in this book, because we're here to help serve, empower, inspire, educate, but also just let you know that you're not alone and we got you. We're here for when you have a down day, and we're here to freaking celebrate you. So that's what I've learned in my entrepreneurial journey.
Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for making me cry. Good tears. And it is true. Who your community is, who your supporters is, matters, and who you support. Today I shared with my team, I woke up heavy and I said, I need every single one of you to uplift me. And within seconds, it happened. And so it does matter. And women entrepreneurs, we as women in general, this is the type of community that we must have, that we must build, and we have to pay it forward to others. So thank you for sharing that. So I'm going to go back to Dr. Victoria. What has been one of your biggest takeaways for being a woman entrepreneur?
It's such a big question, and the discussion that's happened so far, I feel like I've heard things I believe reinforced in multiple ways, in multiple voices, and all of it resonates so strongly. I think for me, the beauty of being an entrepreneur is the freedom and flexibility of it. I think someone said you get to do the things that you want to do when you want to do them. And for me, with, again, you know, the corporate background, it served me well. It was good times, but it was hard times as well. I often had to work against my energy because deadlines had to be met, meetings had to be attended. I had to be the person that was needed by the organizations I was in. And what I find deeply rewarding is that as an entrepreneur, and it's, you know, it's challenging in many ways and, you know, a lot of the time, but you get to work within your best energy, I think. You know, when you need to be restful and quiet and do detail work, you can do that. When you feel ready to get big and creative and visible, you can do that. When you want to be a part of something, you can do it. When you want to be alone, you can do it. And I think after most of my adult life in environments that didn't allow me to flow with my feminine energy, I had to kind of be, you know, be doing things the way. It's been incredibly rewarding and illuminating to realize who I become when I get to flow with my natural energy. And I think that's one of the lovely things about being a female entrepreneur. It's difficult in so many ways, and you get to rise to that challenge, but you get to do so in a way where you ebb and flow with your own kind of natural energy, which I think is often not possible when you are working within the structures and processes of the corporate world, which was, you know, built by men, and men are great, but they're different. They're different to us. We have our own ways and energy, and I think it's really fabulous being able to kind of align around that. And for me, that's been incredibly freeing. And you know, if this book can help inspire some other women who are maybe on the fence or have still got one foot in the corporate camp, or, you know, really thinking, will I do it? Will I do it? If this book can help tip some over the edge and create some tools and inspiration and motivation to kind of lean into that, then that is a blessing to be a part of.
Well, thank you for sharing. All right. I'm going to take this back to Nita. What has been your biggest takeaway as a woman entrepreneur?
My biggest takeaway is fear. And I'm so happy to be in this community because it has taught me accountability. And so when I was writing, I never wrote a book before. I never did a bio before. And it was just incredible how my community came together and helped me. And I never thought that I would get to this point. I had just being able to get the book out of me that I have inside of me, but never being able to put it on paper. And I thank you all for that. And even putting up with me. I thank you for that.
Oh, you're never tolerated, always celebrated. That's one of the biggest things I say is, as a woman, here's one thing I could tell you as an entrepreneur: never go to a space where you're only tolerated. You need to be in a space where you're always elevated and celebrated. And if you're only feeling tolerated, they're not your people.
Correct.
So congratulations to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, ladies, this concludes our very first round of what is to come for becoming an unstoppable woman. Entrepreneur Part 2. I want to thank everyone for joining us and wishing you all a powerful Tuesday. Please grab your ebook today. Let's reach those categories. And congratulations to all 20 women who really nailed it with this book. And we will be back over the next weeks, just so you can get to know each one on a deeper level. We have a lot of panel discussions, challenges coming up, and you're going to see what we mean by becoming an unstoppable woman. So thank you, everyone, for joining us and watching live. Bye, everyone.